ground to back them up, and so bears or something can just completely overrun them, or even dryads can just get close to them so quickly without taking too much damage. And Infi actually now running in here with his invisible warden, probably going to go for maybe a fan of knives or something. He will need to be careful about this arcane tower just not to lose too much mana, because that warden does have 260 mana, and so it looks like this warden just can continue to run around. And give me a second, folks. And this and we are actually seeing some pretty aggressive creeping now from Sky. Obviously he doesn't mind too much about losing these footmen, because they're really just sort of fodder for dryads and bears now. But this Mount King actually picking up a Talisman amount of evasion, really not a good item, just if you think about it. 15% is basically 15% extra health, apart from against spells, and considering you're against a warden, really not a brilliant item for him at this point. And this Mountain King will get pretty close to level 4 off this camp, though. Actually, Mike will get level 4. I didn't see that last creep there. Yeah, and he will get level 4. So this warden, though, still getting pretty close to 5, and level 5 warden, very scary thing. And picking up Potion of Greater Healing, excellent item for that warden now. And it looks like we probably will be seeing just sort of a massing game from both sides. Infi actually with one bear here, I'm not sure what it's doing there. And then actually a Blood Mage second now, obviously not too uncommon these days to get a Blood Mage second, just for all that bonus mana on your Blood Mage, or on your Mount King. You can use a bolt and then siphon mana away from that warden so it can't get away. And also just if you use siphon mana even without a bolt, it means that the warden has to sort of either use a short distance blink or run out of range, which is a lot of lost DPS for just 10 mana on your part, and then you get lots of mana back as well. And the Tome of Strength as well, okay item I guess against all this sort of direct damage from that warden and from the bear dryad as well. And it looks like this warden getting very close to 5 and using a clarity potion as well. Ooh, this Blood Mage actually could be in a bit of trouble, immediately using Fan of Knives, but I think we do have a staff on this Mount King, so it's not too big a deal. Mount King actually being able to save it and then get away, and it looks like we are seeing mortars and actually, wow, frag shards from from Sky. I'm really not sure what his plan is here, because he doesn't have. I guess he could go for knights, but he has 2 Griffin Aviaries, so he's just gonna have, like, obviously it's not too unusual strategy, but it's just a bit. I always find it a bit odd because you don't really have the ground to really defend it, and so you can just have your mortars completely overrun, and then once those are done, you can just turn your dryads basically to the air, and then at that point it's really tricky for you to be able to do anything. Meanwhile, your bear, or for your opponent to do anything, and meanwhile your bears are just absolutely ripping up those heroes. And it looks like actually Sky with really low heroes here. Obviously his Mount King's really low. His Blood Mage is finally back, but really needs to heal up that Mount King, actually just staffing it back. And ooh, that's not good. Unfortunately, that Blood Mage staff to this position. I don't think there's a path out of here unless he's taken out some trees here. No, he hasn't. I think that Mount King's gonna have to eat some trees, or have to. Oh no, actually, he has to staff a teleportation. I take it all back. He'll just be able to staff it. That's really nice there for Sky. I'm not sure. Did he even have that staff on his Blood Mage, or was he just sort of taking the risk? I didn't notice. An Ancients of Wind actually now going down. Actually, no, just one Ancient of Wind going down for Infi. And that's a bit of an odd choice. Obviously, Hippo Riders are so nice against human air, assuming they don't have too many Dragonhawk Riders, in which case those Dragonhawk Riders can absolutely destroy your air, because they can just hold them all in place and do a whole lot of damage to them. And it's not like they cost a whole bunch of extra food or anything ridiculous like that. This Blood Mage now hitting level 2, and this Mount King able to staff back. And it looks like actually one attack upgrade on those mortar teams. And are we seeing Animal War training? We are seeing Animal War training. So almost 1,000 hit points on those Griffin Riders. So terrifying to try and play it. Ooh, very nice timing here from Infi, catching all these militia coming down. You can see Sky wanted to go for an attack here. Looks like he's going to go for it anyways, but without those militia support, which he does like to bring in, even when he goes for these really late game attacks here. And it looks like, what are we going to be seeing picked up? Maybe a heal scroll, maybe even a scroll of protection would be okay, although there are quite a few dryads, I imagine, in this army. Yeah, quite a few dryads. Still actually a lot of huntresses, actually. That's quite interesting. I guess they just never were killed, and so he's kept them in the army. And Infi going for a whole lot of moon walls. Clearly he knows Sky's going to go for an attack on this expansion, and so he just knows that he needs to be able to defend it, and he needs to be able to heal up his warden if he needs to. And oh my god, that was such a bad Fan of Knives, and it looks like this warden being immediately forced to pop a invuln pot. I'm going to take out these mortars quite quickly, but meanwhile just Sky doing so much damage. Really nice play from all these heavy air units, and so Infi losing pretty much all his mana at this point. Doesn't have really much to do any spells anymore, but he does have enough he can just sit back basically and attack with his orb the air units, and if he attacks them all one by one, that's more than enough. And ooh, wow, level up on that Blood Mage to 3, and immediately banishes himself, but just while the Warden blinks to try and get ahead of him. Very, very nice play there by Sky, and it looks like Infi getting very close to level 6 Warden though, which was just so nice attacking or just in sort of doing economy harasses, things like that. And it looks like one of these Dragonhawk riders is getting pretty low, and he is just being held back by all those Dryades. And oh my god, that Blood Mage goes down to a Fan of Knives, level 6 now on that Warden. And Sky now in a lot of trouble with his Mount King. Does have actually a TP which he could use, but a blink, and oh wow, Sky caught completely off guard there. Blink and Fan of Knives being used before Sky can use his TP, and it looks like Infi will get both those kills. And I wonder if Sky's even going to try and actually creeps it here. But I wonder if Sky's even going to try and tavern them back, or if he's just going to alter them back. He might have to alter them back because he doesn't have the map control. He's bringing in his air units hero, which suggests he might be going for yes, he is. He is going for a tavern back on his Mount King, which is obviously the sensible one to tavern back, but at the same time, really taking a risk there, because if that these are Dryades taking a lot of damage. If that Mount King had been caught out by the Warden, which actually it might now, but it's a bit too late, unfortunately. Then that could have been that Warden or that Mount King would have immediately gone down, and a Phantom Knife being used to do a lot of damage to those to those Griffins. Both of them go down, and it looks like anti-magic potion being used as well, and so much economy harass being done here. And look at all these dead peasants. This is so bad for Sky. Level 7 now on this Warden, and this and the Warden will just try and stay away. And Avatar Vengeance being used. What a nice position to use this. Sky obviously going to be able to do nothing against this, and Infi having so many skeletons. Oh my god, this could be so bad, because he can just take out this peasant line now, and there's absolutely nothing he can do. And look at all these Griffins. Griffins being forced to run, and I don't think there's enough Dragonhawk riders to take care of these hippogriffs. And oh my god, and it looks like you can see Infi actually unable to get there with the rest of his army, and it looks like Infi gonna come back with his Warden, but leaving all these Spirits of Vengeance, which will just be able to destroy this gold line. So nice play there by Infi. I've never seen that done before. And oh my god, it looks like actually Infi gonna win the air battle overall, though obviously those Dragonhawk riders were proved to be just enough, and yet again, the Warder team just go down so quickly, and this Warden now level 7, getting close to level 8. Really, there's not much that this level 5 Mount King can do, and that's saying something, so level 5 Mount King is quite something. But obviously, just through the use of very nice Warden or Blink combined with Fan of Knives and everything, it's just so nice. Actually, look, there's an item. Actually, there's a lot of items. There's a Claws of Attack, there's a Tome of Intelligence, and there's a Tome of Strength here, all untaken by Infi. He might pick them all up at once just now that he's in the area, or he might just not be able to see it, obviously at the wrong angle. You can't even see that Claws of Attack there, and actually he has better items equipped, so you just have to sell it anyway, so maybe he just doesn't need the gold. And meanwhile, these towers are going down for Sky, but they will be taken down quite quickly, and this gold mine's just been taken out of action for so long. The naturals must be running low now. Yeah, only 2,000 gold left in the naturals, and oh my god, this could be so bad for Sky. He had such a nice early game, really managed to do a lot of harassment, even if it meant his tech was a bit late, and this Warden unable to keep up with those air units, unfortunately, and one Hippogriff rider gonna be taken out, or Hippogriff taken out really quickly, and this Warden blinking in again, using another Fan of Knives, and actually has a Clarity going, and Sky not cancelling it, unfortunately. But look at all these low units. All that poison orb is just so powerful, and Sky looks like he might micro them separately back, which would certainly be the sensible thing to do. And looks like we are seeing them just trying to get home, and hopefully Sky won't, or Infi won't notice this, and it looks like he might just be able to get those home free, and then use some staves and arcane scrolls and whatnot just to heal them up completely. And both heroes are now back finally for Sky. Obviously 5-3. I wonder if he's ever going to go for a Paladin third. That would certainly be the proper thing to do, but whether or not this has been such an unorthodox game already, it's just it's hard to say. And looks like Blink continuing to be used just to keep up with these air units, and just Phantom Knives constantly being used, and looks like Sky really going to have some trouble, going to lose all these air units even after trying to split up his units. There's no fooling Infi. He just separates out his Griffins, or sorry, his his Hippogriffs, and that's more than enough to take them down. Level 8.5 on the Warden now. Oh my god, this could be so bad now. Obviously, single Warden is quite weird against sort of the these two heroes, from Sky, just because it can be pretty tricky. If you get bolted and then get all your mana siphoned away, this hero is basically worthless, and that's such a cost, because losing your only hero in such a hero-centric army. Ooh, we actually are seeing a Paladin third now from Sky, but losing your only hero, or losing the effectiveness of that hero, is just so bad. And it looks like more anti-magic potions, more blinking again, more Fan of Knives, and it looks like actually Sky's even going to run into those towers just to try and chase down those last air units from Sky. Sorry, I think I said Sky before, I meant Infi, and it looks like Infi is going to be able to take those down eventually. Obviously, hippogriffs are fast enough to be able to take them down, and there's more than 3, so you can't just shackles them. And this warden continuing to do a lot of harassment, although Sky put up so many towers in his base that I don't think Infi's actually going to be able to touch the towers. And meanwhile, this chase is continuing to go on, but they will go down eventually. There were 3, there are now 2, there will eventually be 0. And it looks like Sky chasing down, or Infi chasing down some more now, and Infi could continue to use this blink and orb and Fan of Knives, and